Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Just give me 1 second to stop the music and everything. All right, how is everyone doing today? How's everyone's day going? All right. It's going good. Nice. Did you guys do anything fun today? Anything different? All right. Perfect. There we go. Got my screen sharing. Let me see. So you are in Eastern time and it's pretty late. Yeah, I am also in Eastern time right now. So yeah, it is pretty late for me as well, but I'm looking forward to doing this workshop. And then, oh, nice, you did the Get My Resume. How did that go earlier? I think that was with Wei. I was seeing pretty good feedback in the chat from it. All right. So I see we have about 15 people, and nice, you learned some new stuff, and hopefully you can learn some new stuff here too. So sorry if I'm looking over to the side, I just have another monitor, just so I can help make sure I'm checking in on everything and I can see stuff. So you're building a Windows workstation for your home lab. Nice. Were you getting started on it today? Have you been working on it for a bit? And how is the volume for everyone? Can you guys hear me pretty well? Should I adjust the sensitivity? So something about my day today. I got my car stolen last week or 2 weeks ago, and then I was able to get a new car yesterday. So that was very, very exciting. So today was my first official day back into my office. So that was a lot of fun, getting a chance to see everyone. Ooh, all right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and get my screen shared for y'all. All right. So let me just move this stuff over. And then, all right. There we go. All right. There is the screen share. And then I just need to have it. All right. Hopefully you guys can all see my screen. Let me know in chat if there are any issues with anything. And also let me know if you guys would like me to slow down or repeat anything. We're gonna kind of be doing some live coding today, so I'm gonna show you guys how you can look things up when getting started with React. There are a lot of really good resources out there, and I'm gonna show you guys how to get started. So some things that we want to check for. Okay, sorry, I just want to make sure I can still see everyone's chat. Something that we want to check for is to make sure that we have Node installed and MySQL installed. So to do that, we can go ahead and open up our terminal. And I'm going to make this font a little bit bigger so you guys can see it a little better. And let me know if you guys want me to zoom into anything. And then to go ahead and check my Node version, I'm going to do Node-v, and I'm going to do a lowercase v for that. And then it goes ahead and returns my version number back. So if you do not have a version here, we want to make sure we are downloading Node. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do here, you can go ahead and search download Node. And everyone might have like a different machine. I personally have a Mac. So for here, if I was doing Mac, I could use brew, for example, and I could do brew install node at 20, and this is just saying my version number. Once you have that, you can go ahead and do node.v, and then you can also do npm.v to make sure that the version is in the right environment. And hi, welcome, welcome. I see we got some more people in our chat. And I'll be checking the chat, so feel free to ask questions, ask me to slow down, or repeat anything. So if you guys just joined, we are first checking and making sure you guys have Node. So what I did, I opened up my terminal. And if you are on Windows, you can also open up your terminal and you can do node-v to check what version you are on. If you don't get a version, it's going to say like command unknown. You want to go over and search in your browser and search node download. And you can then go ahead and figure out what system you're on and what you want to download it using. It's going to show you what commands you can use. So for example, if you are on a Windows, you can use any of these to go ahead and download it. So I'm going to give you guys like 30 seconds, 45 seconds to get this downloaded. So we're going to go ahead and download our Node version if you guys don't have it. And how many of you guys in chat have it already? Curious to see. You do? Nice. How many of you have made a React website before? Nice. So I see a lot of people have Node. And this is your first. Nice. Hopefully this is a good introduction to React.js. I personally really like it. I've been using it probably for like, I think like 6 years. I think it's really fun. I really like websites a lot. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and check our other stuff now. So we also want to make sure we have MySQL. So I'm going to go back to my terminal, and to check if you have MySQL, you can go ahead and do MySQL dash, and you want to do a capital V for this. It then tells you what version you have. So for me, it returns version 8.3. And if you guys don't have it, you can go ahead and search again, MySQL download. And then you can go here and it'll give you the installers for different versions or different machines. And then you can go ahead and click on whatever machine you have and then download the zip. React.js. This will be a React.js project. And we will be using a MySQL database and connecting it using Node. All right, and I'm going to give you guys like 30 seconds, 45 seconds again to get it all downloaded. Make sure you guys have your downloads in an updated version if you are pretty far behind. Okay. Just gonna move some tabs. All right. Hopefully you guys were able to at least begin the process for downloading and unzipping your file. We are now gonna just double check again. If you just downloaded, go ahead and run your version command to make sure you have it. And then what we are going to do now, we're also going to go back to our browser and we're going to search MySQL Workbench download. So this is a visualization. It's a visual tool for our database, and this is gonna make things a lot easier when we are importing some CSV files and setting up our database. So if you guys can go ahead and search MySQL Workbench download, and then you'll be able to choose your operating system again, and then you'll download your version. So I'm gonna give you guys 30 more seconds for this. All right, so I'll go back here so you guys can see what to search. All right, so after you have your download for your MySQL, you will probably have an installer. If you guys can go ahead and run through it, there are desired setup types. I personally chose the developer version. It kind of just makes things a little bit easier. And then you can go ahead and create a password for your root user. So that's most likely the user you're going to use. That's the admin user, but you can also go ahead and create other users later on. And how's everyone following along so far? Is everything going well? Do you guys need some more time? All right. Following fine, waiting for dev container. All right. And something that's nice, if you get a little bit stuck on a step, you'll be able to rewatch it to get it reset up. Although this is a live, you'll still be able to go back and double check if you missed anything. If you missed something and just want to ask in chat, go ahead. I will be checking on it, making sure everyone is doing good. All right. Now that we have that, was everyone able to get a password set up for their MySQL server? All right. And then what you can do is we'll go back to terminal. And to make sure everything got downloaded properly, we have our password all set up. I'm going to do MySQL -u, and -u is doing the username, and my username is root, and I'm going to do -p to then prompt for a password. Go ahead and enter my password in, and nice. I typed in my password correct, so I'm now in MySQL. And you can tell because right here it changed to MySQL. So today in React, we're going to be learning how to create kind of like a basic website with more customization. So if there's something that you want to add on later, you can build upon it. We will be connecting a MySQL database so that you guys can have certain data and have it show up. And if you guys want to make your website more like a portfolio type, you can do that. And we'll be adding in a custom font Personally, I like making it a different font to make it look a little bit better and more customized. And I feel like it adds more personalization onto it. And it's a pretty simple thing to add on. And then just checking in, was everyone able to do MySQL-u root-p and now inside of MySQL like this? All right. Nice start. Bella, nice. All right. I'm gonna wait for a couple more yeses before we move along. All right. Nice, I see cheesy yummies is all set. So what we are gonna do now is we are going to download our React stuff. So earlier we downloaded Node, and for our website that we are building today, we are setting it up on a Node.js server. So if you guys went into MySQL over here, you can either go ahead and exit semicolon and you will get out of this window, or you can open up a new terminal window. I'm just gonna do exit myself. From here, I want to navigate into where I want to put my project. And personally, I want to put it in documents. In documents, I'm going to create my folder by doing mkdir, which is make directory. And I'm going to call this one MLH React. From here, I want to head into my new directory that I made. So I'm going to do cd mlh react. And I made my way in. All right. So once you're inside of the directory that you want to be building your project on, we're going to initialize a Node.js project. To do that, we can do npm init. All right. So now it went ahead and wrote to my package.json, which will include any like libraries and stuff that we will be adding on later. We can also run a ls to see what it created, and we can see as of now, all it created was the package.json file. All right. So over here, I am going to be using Vim to edit, but feel free to go ahead into Visual Studio Code or whatever IDE you want to be using. We are going to go ahead and create a file called server.js. So I am going to do server.js. In here, I can press I to insert. So if you guys are following along with Vim, I will kind of walk you through steps of how to edit in Vim. I'm then gonna go ahead and create some variables. I'm gonna do some typing and y'all can follow along. So const express equals require. And I will be downloading Express in a bit after I get this set up, in case you might see how it requires Express and you might not have it yet. All right. And make sure you put semicolons. I forgot to do that at first. App.use express.json. Then I'm gonna do app.get. And once I finish typing, I will leave this up for a bit so you can add it in. And I see in chat someone said HLO. I'm guessing that is hello. Hi to you too. Right here where I have the res.send, it is just going to be a little message that will pop up. You can kind of write whatever you want to see. I personally wrote, "Hi, I am in the Node.js server." Right here, where I do the port, I am done making my application listen for any messages that are being sent since we are running it on a server. All right. And this is all for this file. I will keep this up for a little bit longer so everyone can type it up. If you joined a bit later, so far we created a directory to set up our Node.js server. We then initialized our project or our Node.js project. And now we created a file called server.js and we added in this code. All right, 30 seconds, and then I am going to move on to our next step. All right, so if you were using Vim, to exit, you will press your escape, and then a colon and WQ, which is writing, and then quitting. I'll go ahead and press enter. Nice. And earlier I mentioned we will be installing Express. You can do so by doing npm install Express. And now it added in all our packages. Once you have up to that step, you can then do server.js to begin running the server. And looks like I have a little error. Server instance. Let me just read through this. And what I can also do is when I have an error that I might not know how to fix directly, I can copy a little bit of it into the browser and take a look. Okay, so if you have a Mac, port 5000 seems to be AirPlay. So in the code in our server.js, we can go ahead and change that. So I'm gonna go back into Vim. So if you are a Mac user, I forgot, we have to change this from a to port 4000. All right, so now this should be running. Nice. So I'm actually going to stop this by doing Control-C, and we are going to get started with the React application download portion. To do so, I'm going to just do another ls real quick to see everything in here. Make sure once you have your ls, you have something that looks like this. You should have about 4 things. We can now do npx create React app with the dashes and the name that you want to create your folder. For mine, I'm gonna name it my site. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna do my site in all lowercase. There we go. And it might take a little bit to download, no longer than like a minute or 2. All right, nice. So now that I have this, I can go ahead and head in to my site. Oh wait, I realized there is this. Patches. Version. Deleting my site from React. I'm just reading through this real quick. So let me double check this. All right. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Let's see. All right. So from here, we're gonna do our -r node modules OS, and now we deleted the node modules folder. And then I'm gonna try running npm install again. All right, and then let me try rerunning this and see if it wants to work now. All right, let's do that. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just going back on my notes real quick to make sure I didn't miss something. Okay, so actually, let me see if this will work. I'm doing npm start over here. I'm now gonna add in another window from here. I'll make the font bigger again. I'm gonna head over to where I have my folder. And then let me try doing my command here. And we can name this client. All right, no audit, save has failed, React on. Oh, let me read this. All right, so I think I have some cache files. Not sure if it's working for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Cache files and then okay. Let's see if it wants to work now. If not, I might need to update my version because I haven't done that in a bit. All right, nice. Okay, so it looks like it was some cache that I had. Was everyone able to get there started? So you should have a new folder. Were there any issues? If you can drop it in the chat so I could help debug if there are any issues. All right, gonna go ahead and move on to our next step now. Once we are in, sorry, I had something on my desk. I can head into my client directory. So one thing that we had to do over here was we have two different terminal windows. This is for our backend, so the server, and then React will be our front end. So we wanted to have different terminals open. And something that I sometimes like doing is editing the background color so that I can kind of see more of a difference on what is what. Okay. I am gonna go for this blue. That looks nice. So blue for backend. And then, oh, wrong one. What is a color that starts with F for front end? Ooh, that's so bright. F, F. honestly no idea what colors start with F. I'm just gonna make this green. All right. Let me double check this. All right. Cyan. Okay. You're a little late, but you can make yours cyan. All right. Nice. Forest green. Oh, that's smart. I think this is kind of somewhat close. Not really. It's still green. All right. So from here, I can do npm start again. And oh, if I can spell it right. There we go. And then this is going to be starting at my front end. And now I have a little blank website. Nice. We have something running. We want to make sure we are connecting our React to our Node.js. That way they can talk to each other and pass information and do very cool stuff. So what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm in my client directory. And for this, I'm going to go ahead and stop my front end, my forest green front end. All right, so I did Control C to just stop running. And then now I'm going to double check. I am in client. Nice. So inside, I'm going to do an ls to see what files I have. And I have a package.json. I want to go ahead and edit this file. I'm going to do them again. Remember, if you prefer to use an IDE, you're more than welcome to. All right. I am gonna expand this. I have a really bad habit of keeping it super tiny. I don't know why. I just like doing it. I like it kind of more minimal, I'd say. All right, so we have our dependencies here. Yeah. So over here, I want to be adding in my proxy. I'm gonna go ahead and just add it after here. Ooh, all right. And earlier, you might have set it over to 5,000 initially. I have a Mac, and for MacBooks, it is AirPlay for 5,000. So I changed mine over to 4,000. If you need to go ahead and check, please do so before you add this in. That way, it is hitting the right port. And then I'm going to do localhost 2:4,000. Since that is what I decided I want mine to run on. And I'm gonna put a comma. All right, I'll give you guys a second to copy that in. Minimal is go to Gen Z aesthetic, not gonna lie. Are you talking about terminal colors? Sometimes for work, I have about like 8 different terminals open, and having different colors has helped me a lot, kind of differentiating without having to read where I am. So I like having colors. Makes things a bit more fun. All right, hopefully you guys had enough time to copy that in. I'm now gonna exit. I'm gonna write and quit. All right. So I am now gonna open my IDE. I'm gonna use Visual Studio Code. Let me move this over. Let me open up my folder first. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. There we go. Nice. Inside, I have my very root, which I called MLH React. Now inside, I have my client, and then I also have node modules. I want to see what's inside of my client. I want to go ahead and try and find the app.js file, which is inside of our source folder. And then I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And this is what we were seeing earlier. We can go ahead and edit what is up here. That way, we can have some fun text getting added on. For this function, we are also going to be connecting it with our Node.js information so we can talk to both the front and the back as they're two separate pieces. I'm just gonna delete most of these. All right, I'll keep that in for now. Here, I'm gonna get my message, set message, and these are my variables that I can use to get my values. Now I'm going to use a use effect. Ooh, wrong one. In order to grab my information. All right. Ooh, okay. Silly me. I forgot my curly braces. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let me double check. Okay. Sorry, I swapped these. There we go. All right. I inject this just to make it a bit easier to read. Response dot text. All right. And then over here, I'm gonna add my div tags. I'm gonna do a header 4, so it's not too humongous. And then I can use the message value that I got, and everything should work to plan. Status. Oh, I forgot to grab import React use effect, comma, use state from React. There we go. And then if you want, you can go ahead and delete your logo from the top because we do not need that anymore. And so now I have my fun looking thing, which is not formatted well. Double check this. Oh, let me keep that up for you guys, sorry. And I think I want to do run build. And then hopefully that will update my stuff. All right. Oh, sorry. Let me keep this code back up. Yeah, I mean, okay. Let me double check over here. This should be, let me double check with this and see if that needs to be 3,000 before I make everyone change it. All right, nope, that was not 8. Right. And G4. Let me check my other one. So it wasn't this, it was here. Okay, let me double check. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry if I'm a little quiet. I'm just reading through my code again to make sure I did not make any typos. Okay. I guess I forgot my path here. So if you guys can go back to server.js in your root directory, we are going to go ahead and add a path. So you can add a constant path equals require path and save that. Something that you could do if you are all caught up is making a Google Sheet CSV file. Ooh, sorry. Keep that open. So later when we add in our database file, we will be loading in a CSV file. So I have something that looks like this. I have my column title, which is colors and numbers, and then I have my values in here. Y'all can go ahead and make something like this that you want to use for your website. If you are all caught up and just waiting. All right. PM one build. How is everyone's stuff coming along? Very good. Nice. Following along. That is very good. All right. Sorry, I lost my page. Let me get my notes back up. And then we were working on this one. .js. Let me check this out. All right. Okay, I think I need to add in all right, so I changed my class name over here in my div to be class name equals app. And then inside, I think I accidentally deleted a little bit too much. Header class name equals app. Over here, I need to make this capital N. Whoopsies. And then I am gonna double check what port this is running on. All right, and then for my port, I don't know if that is messing mine up. So I'm gonna try deleting that and try running it. Oh, I'm gonna do 80/80. I don't think it likes the other one. And I will update you guys in a second. I'm just trying to make some quick changes and see if that will debug it. All right, let me double check this path. And then I realized here I want to do path.join, I believe. Wait, give me 1 second. Port, port. Path Express. AS port config. Alright. Have all this. For Node.js. Alright. I have 80/80. Okay, let me try updating this a little bit. So I have this, and instead of 5,000, I'm going to change this to 80/80 again. Alrighty. And remember, y'all can be working on a CSV file to add in a database that y'all can use. Alright, I think I messed up something somewhere. Node.js, React.js, setting server ports. So over here, I can go ahead and set this up. Alright, that's what we have. Let me double check where that should be. Alright. Let me try moving my proxy, and this is still inside the right folder. I'm gonna go ahead and add this into here and change this to 8080. That looks like it's running. I will do another run build. Logos never used. All right. Okay. I'm double checking my app.js file now. Why does it show localhost 3000 when you typed in 8080 as the port? So 8080 is my backend port. So localhost. And this is what my servers run on. And then this is the front end, so what the website actually looks like. Hopefully that makes sense. I can try and clarify a little bit more if it wasn't too clear. Nice. All right, perfect. Correct. I'm gonna try out this code from my other file. And let's see if this wants to work. Hopefully it will. A fun part about coding is sometimes something that worked before does not want to work again. But that's why we can do some debugging. Okay. That's not okay. Yeah. API message. API message. Fetch message. All right. Let me double check something. Okay. For here, I'm gonna double change. Okay. Okay. That was somewhat better. It's not. Okay. So this does not want to work. Try. Okay, so that part is working. The other part just does not want to work because it did not get a message. So now we are debugging a bit. Well, it was getting a message. It didn't get an error. Let's check our console. All right, fetch error. Okay, let's check our server.js. Port API.get. Okay. App.get. I'm gonna add this code that we had earlier back in. Alrighty, and then let's put another semicolon here. And then, oh, here it is. Okay, and then here, see if there's anything. Oh, I see. Is the alligator face in app.js? We don't have the doc type HTML. And typically we do have a alligator mouth. That is the less than symbol. All right. Something is angry. Real quick, I am gonna try re-downloading my React files. All right. React app. Create React. And sorry for the technical difficulties. I appreciate everyone's patience. Alright. And then I'm gonna double check this file. Yada yada yada. Image, then React. On Stack Overflow, it seems like the server is returning HTML instead of JSON. you need to check what the, just make sure the API endpoint you're sending is correct. Yeah, so for the API endpoint, I have it as, let's see, where did it go? The slash over here, which I am fetching. And then, yeah, I need to double check that it is a JSON object, but over here, it should be getting it. All right. All right. And Stack Overflow is a pretty nice tool that you can use to debug. Okay, so I have my listen app. I'm gonna try doing app.use express.json. And then I have my slash quest. This is declared but never read. Okay, and then over here, I have that. Response was not okay. So then I am gonna go back into here and then do an npm start. Okay. Let me see if I can find some more documents on that. So I should have the proxy set up, right? We have the JSON getting set. Maybe I will try changing this so it's slash message. And then over here in my server, I will also change that. So it is slash message. And then API, you should see a message. Side of server.js, we have all our files, have our message, message. And then this file is fetching. All right. Message. We have our message here inside of there. Okay. Start. Network error. App.js. Fetching error. 3000 message. I believe I had it as MSG dot fetch. set message to data.message. Message, ensure that your thing is set up right. All right, so over here we have this works. Okay. That part is getting set up. Res console.log. Should I do console.log server started on core app.get? Let me try adding a console here. Console.log. It's always good to add some prints. And I'm gonna have the get request. Maybe. Network. All right. There we go. So I needed to add something in again. So now we have our message showing. I'm so sorry about that. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. So what I was able to change was inside of my server.js file over here, I added the console.log. This should be res.json. Our port is 8080. And then in app.js, nothing else really changed. It's pretty much what we had earlier. I think I just need to make sure that I started the back end, which I thought I did earlier first, and then the front end. So that should be good. Now, let's get into some of the customizations. The console.log did not make a difference. I think it possibly just made things load up again, like recompile. All right. So, does anyone need me to go over any of the code again? Yes, no, maybe so. I will do that in a second if anyone needs me to. So what we are going to do now, yes, that is correct. We're going to go over to Google Fonts and see if there is a font we want to use. I think I'm just going to scroll a little bit. And I'm going to find one. I love Merriweather, so maybe I will use Merriweather. So you can explore the different fonts that we have here. And then once you find one that you like, you can go ahead and click on it. And on the top right, you can do get font, then use get embedded code. All right. Once you have that, we will get this portion. So we're going to copy this. And this is going to go into the head of our index.html file. So I'm going to head back over to Visual Studio. I'm then going to find my file, which is inside of public. I will open this up, and inside of the head, just right here, I'll React app. You can go ahead and paste whatever links it told you to copy when you found the font that you wanted to use. Once you have that portion, you should head over to app.css. App.css, which is right here. And then we should go ahead and create a body. This is going to help us make sure that all of our code is using the correct font family, and then let me double check what it is called. So for my font family, see if it had a certain way it wanted me to add it in here. I am gonna call it Merryweather. Okay. Let's head back over here. And then I am gonna go back into app.css where it was. I'm gonna name it Merryweather. Merryweather. All right, there we go. Got the spelling. And then I will be using it as the serif. All right, and I will keep that up for a second so you can go ahead and add it in. Whenever you are done adding it in, you should be able to head back over to your website, and the font has now been applied. So this is a pretty easy way to make your website look fancier. Highway, I am glad that it works. There were some bugs earlier that were being funky for some reason. But once you have your font, we can then try adding in our database stuff. All right. So earlier, if you have not done so already, I lost mine, but you should have a Google Sheet with some values in it that you'd like to put in your table. Mine's pretty simple. I have colors, I have numbers, pretty short. I might add pink. I love the color pink. What other colors? Forest green. I remember we had that earlier. I'll put 0. I also saw cyan earlier. Let's give it a 5. All right. So now that I have this, I am going to rename this to call. All right, cool. And then once you have that file, you can download it as a CSV by doing download. And then there is the comma separated values. Nice. All right. I'm going to put this back away, but just to repeat, go ahead. Once you have your values added in, you can add more than 2 columns. I just chose to do a very simple one to show the basics. You can do file, download, and download it as a CSV. That way we can put it into our database. Alrighty. Earlier, we downloaded MySQL Workbench, and everyone should be able to get logged into their MySQL server. So what I'm gonna do here, all right, is go ahead and get logged in here to go ahead and create a new table. I want to change this color so it looks a bit different. I'm going to make this one purple. All right. From here, I can go ahead into my SQL-u root. That is the username, and then my password. It's going to then prompt me. I'm going to go ahead and add in my password. All right, nice. I am here. Okay. So from now, if you have used it before, you might have some tables, databases. If you have it, then you might not. To go ahead and get started with one, you can do create database, and I'm going to call mine MLH React. I'm going to just call it MLH. Put a semicolon to end the line, press enter. Nice. So now I can do show databases. I can't remember. Nice. So it is plural, and I should be able to see MLH here. Woohoo. All right. Then to be able to use the table, that way we can separate different like databases that you might have. Maybe later on you have one for projects that you want to add onto your portfolio site, or maybe you have some other like user data that you want to put into another table. So to use our MLH table that we just created, you can do use MLH, database change. And I think you can do which database to show, oh, never mind. Either way, we are in our MLH database, which is great. Inside of MySQL Workbench, let me go ahead and try and open up an empty one. ¿Dónde está? And how are y'all doing? Was everyone able to catch up to this point? All right. Nice, cheesy yummies. Glad things are going well. Remember, I can repeat anything or try and clarify if you have any questions. I love being able to answer questions that you might have, clarify things. And let me plug in my laptop as it is at 33%. All right, so when you open up MySQL Workbench, you might have something that looks like this. Right now, I'm going to go into my local instance, go ahead and put in my password. And then over here, I am able to see the different databases I have. So if I go into my MLH one, right now, I have no tables. But something I can do, we have our file that we downloaded, the CSV file. You are able to do table data import wizard. So this is a little fun tool to add in our CSV file. Mine is in download, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on this, press open, I'm gonna press next, and then it says create new table, and then over here, I'm gonna change the name, delete the extra stuff that got added, ta-da, press next, Over here, it is a pretty smart tool because it was able to check that colors, it has all text in it. Numbers uses ints. So once you have that, you can go ahead and press next. And then you can press next again. And your little table you created should be added in now. I'm going to press next and press finish. So what I can do in here is I'm going to use MLH. And let me see what tables I have. All right. I forget what I named it. I think I called it column. Column. All right. Nice. So over here, you can go ahead and choose the database name, use blank. Then do select star. This is going to select everything. Something you can also do in MySQL is limit how many you want showing. So if I did limit 2 and reran this, it's only going to give me my top 2 lines. So if you have larger tables and you kind of just want a little preview of what kind of might be in it, you're able to run that. And I am pressing this lightning bolt over here to run my queries. Hopefully everyone has up to this portion. I will give everyone about 2 minutes to get caught up, ask any questions. Make sure you're staying hydrated. It is MySQL. I have a question for y'all in the chat. Do you call it MySQL or do you call it MySQL? This is a very important question. This is a common debate. Put 1 if you call it MySQL, and put 2 if you call it MySQL. Okay, I'm liking how many ones I'm seeing right now. It drives me nuts when people say MySQL. Automating myself to 1. That's a great swap. That is a great swap. I know a lot of people still use the second version. I just prefer the first one. We had about a 30-minute debate at work. So typically, I feel like for Postgres, people don't go PostgreSQL. Like, I feel like people typically just go Postgres. Yeah, Wei, how do you say that? Very curious. All right. PostgreSQL. Oh boy. You say the second part? That's a very long name. All right. All righty. Okay, I think it's been about 2 minutes. I have some white grape juice from Welch's, and it's very good. And I need some sugar because I'm very tired. All right, so now we have all that stuff. We will be able to begin showing the table on our website. Find a terminal. Got the request. Nice. I'm so proud. So proud of you, code. Okay. I don't really care about this anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it and use this to run some other stuff. All right. Let me double check the directory. I want to put it in. Alrighty. Alrighty. So, sorry, I feel like I need a sneeze. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. I am going to do an ls. From here, I'm going to head into clients, do another ls. I personally just have a habit of doing ls, listing out all the files that are there and taking a look at what it looks like. Can do npm install Axios. This is a library. It's a component that will help us work with our database stuff. All right, I'll give that a second to download, but it was angry. I think, let me read this. Yeah. npm fund. Does it move? Okay, wait. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, okay. Now I should be good. It was able to add in all the stuff. There's just some other stuff. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. To be safe, I'm gonna do this. And read through. Okay. So some of you guys might not have these errors I'm getting. I have some stuff on here that might be making it angry, but hopefully we don't have as many issues as I may have. I am now going to head back over to my IDE, and I am going to swap my AirPods because they're dying. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure they are connected. Good. Me all right. If I can get a thumbs up, a yes, a yay, anything in chat so I know everyone can hear me. Testing. Oh, okay. Yay. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate it. Perfect. So, yeah, hi. Hi, H. Oh, that looks like hi. Fun fact, I'm slightly dyslexic, so sometimes I misread stuff and it takes me a little bit longer, but that's all good. Makes me try and be extra careful. I'm gonna go ahead and create our JS file. You might have users in yours. I personally have colors, so I'm gonna do colors, color table, table.js. Perfect. Once you have that, and it should be inside of your client folder in the source directory. I can go ahead and make sure I import React. I'm gonna make sure I have use effect and use state from React. The library that I just downloaded, I'm gonna import that as well. Nice. I'm gonna call this color table. You may also have different names for this portion. I'm gonna use my arrow function. Beep. All right. Const. I have different parts, so maybe I will have const. I'll have colors, set colors equals use state. And since it is most likely going to be a list, I am going to add these square brackets. I also have the numbers, so I'm going to add nums and set nums equals, there we go. Use state, same thing, square brackets. Something that we might want to do to make sure it's a bit more user-friendly is have a loading portion. So if we're still grabbing all the data, we can tell the users, hey, it is loading. Gonna add in a const loading set loading. This is also gonna be use state. And for this, it is gonna be a Boolean. So when we first run through this file, it will be true initially because we haven't gotten any of the data. But after we finish getting the data, we can then set the state to false. Now, using our use effect, we will be able to get our data. All right, use effect const. Let me see. I want to get my colors. Fetch colors equals, I'm gonna do an async function. We're gonna have to head back into our server to create some more calls. Or possibly I might be able to do it from a different file, but for now, let's finish with this portion. Sorry, I have a light that's kind of covering my monitor. All right. Sorry, I got lost. All right. I say all right a lot. Whoops. Okay, that's different. Try. And now I want to add a get request to get the colors. I'll have a response to keep track of what it gets. HTTP //localhost. Over here, I had 8080. Y'all may have 5,000, but Mac users will probably not have 5,000. I also forgot to put my arrow function here. I'm gonna add that in. And then I will be closing it right around here. Let me just double check. The mathing. All right. There we go. I have my thing. And then I have my first two. I have that. Sorry, I am counting my parentheses. Oh yeah, the first time I did this, I learned the hard way and I was like, why isn't it working? And then the second time I had some other errors, but that's such a fun part of programming is debugging and learning how to debug. All right. Oh, I am silly. There we go. Now it's adding up. All right, the math is mathing. That is perfect. Now, for fetching colors, ooh, let me go ahead and add a slash and do colors. And then let's go ahead and set our colors to whatever this gave us, the data. We are going to then catch any errors it throws at us. We can do a console.error so we can let the users know in a way. Uh-oh, error fetching the colors. Sad face. I saw this really cute bug the other day, and it was like, uh-oh, this page isn't working. I don't know. I think those silly messages are kind of nice. And then now we are able to set our loading value to false because that means if it tried to get it, it caught any errors, and then we're done with trying to get the colors. But in our case, we have some other data that we want to add in. So we're going to add in, we're not going to add this in yet, but we can keep it and add it into our next step. I am going to copy this for time's sake and do something similar for the nums, fetch nums. I will change this to nums, set nums, set loading false. I will delete this from here. I'm going to make sure I call my fetch colors function first before my fetch nums. Yeah, fetching the nums, making sure that is updated. All right. So the only thing that I have to do other than that is make sure I actually call these so things run. Let me call the fetch colors. Don't need to pass anything in, and fetch nums. All right. For those following along, were you able to add in this code? Do you need, I'm gonna give you guys 30 seconds. And then I will be moving on to the next portion. All right. So for those who are done with that part, we're not heading off of this file yet. We are adding some more to have information onto our screen. Alrighty, we will check if it is loading. If it is, return dot 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 dot, and then I will have my return. I have all the other stuff. I can then use a table to display my data. And for the columns, should we learn JavaScript before React, or is that not necessary? So I would say React is a pretty good way to get started with learning JavaScript. There are so many different forums out there to help you learn some more. And if you run into bugs, like I did earlier, you're still able to kind of keep going back and forth and check different forums like Stack Overflow. You could also check out, sorry, I forgot what I was typing. You can use AI to help you out in a good way and ask it possibly how you could debug a portion of your problem. So I have colors, and then I have, whatchamacallit, colors, nums, sorry. Okay. Of course. Alrighty. Sorry, piece of hair. Let me put that back here. Sorry, I'm making sure everything is lining up before I move on to the next portion. Okay. T-head, I already did that. T-body, my table body. And up here, I made a little oopsie. My table is gonna be, what should I call it? Columns. So for my other example, I forgot that I had multiple tables. So I need to adjust that for this. So over here, we're going to change it to what the database name was. All right. I have call nums, async, use effect. All right. Let me delete this. Lo siento. Fetch call nums. Fetch call nums. Set call nums. Response.data. The colors. The table. I'm just gonna have it as that. Cell cut. No. Done. Oh, and then I can have my finally here. Finally is 8 a.m. here. I am glad you enjoyed it. You can always watch the other parts later on. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, I guess, since you are getting started with it now. Finally, set loading to true, false, because that means it finished. All right. Inside of our body, can then map the values. So I can do columns dot map. Ooh, Tetris is a really fun game. I love Tetris. User. I have a map. I'm gonna do column num, singular. Yes. I will be finishing up this code snippet, and then I will be done. I will add in some other sources in Discord that people can use. Okay, column. Sorry, I lost track. And then over here, I'm gonna do column, arrow. Column dot colors. I am glad you enjoyed it. I will have some other sources in chat, so anyone who wants to finish this portion up will have the chance to. And I appreciate everyone for joining. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time zone you are in. And we look forward to seeing everyone again at some other point. But in about 1 minute, once I've finished typing this out, I will be ending the stream so that you could head over to the Tetris mini event if you'd like to. Tetris is a very, very fun game, in my opinion. Call colors. There we go. Let me delete this. I am glad you enjoyed it. Way. Very, very nice of you. All right. Okay, I am going to debug this later. I will have some more sources in chat for anyone who is interested in learning more about React. I apologize, there's some bugs, but sometimes with code, there's some bugs that are a little bit more tough to debug, but it's part of the learning process. So I hope everyone enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.